Prince Harry has worn this one piece of jewelry for 17 years, as a moving tribute to his mother. Prince Harry is, it's safe to say, an extremely wealthy man. As a member of the British royal family, he has access to things of which most regular people could never even dream. But one of his most important possessions is valuable not because of its cost but its sentimental value. Harry has worn it for almost 2 decades now, and he will probably never give it up. It's a simple piece of jewelry, but to Harry it might as well be worth all the money in the world. Prince Harry and his brother William had an upbringing unusual for royal children. Their mother, Princess Diana, swooped in and changed the rules for them. Princes and princesses were usually raised within strict confines, but Diana refused to do that. She organized her royal schedule around them, rather than the other way around. She took them on outings, let them eat at McDonald's, and chose the school that her children would attend. And, perhaps most importantly of all, she tried to raise them without a feeling of entitlement and with a sense of responsibility. When William and Harry were still young, she took them to a homeless shelter, and she expected them to be kind to everyone they met there. Diana's hard work paid off. As soon as William and Harry grew into adulthood, it became clear they were making charitable efforts a priority in their lives. One of Harry's endeavors was HIV/AIDS relief, as Diana had frequently tried to help people living with AIDS. In 2006, Harry and Lesotho's Prince Sisoko founded Sentimental, a charity for children with HIV. Furthermore, both of Diana's sons have used their weddings, one of the most important events in any person's life, to raise money for charity. When Prince William married Kate Middleton in 2011, he requested that well-wishers donate money to chosen charities, instead of buying wedding gifts for the couple. William and Kate suggested a diverse range of charities. Among them were organizations which used sport and activity to educate children, like Peace Players International and Dance United. Others were environmental charities, including the Zoological Society of London and Earthwatch. A charity which helped people through grief was also included. Prince Harry followed in his brother's footsteps. In 2018 he married former actress Meghan Markle in a ceremony that attracted global interest, and once more the bride and groom requested donations rather than gifts. Just like William's and Kate's choices, Harry's and Meghans included environmental, sport, and bereavement charities. Both weddings were tremendous successes in every way. Millions of people watched the televised events, and lots of money was raised for charity. And William and Kate went on to have 3 children together: Prince George, who is third in line to the throne, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Harry and Meghan announced their first pregnancy just a few months after their 2018 wedding. Just as they headed off on a tour of New Zealand and Australia, they broke the news that Meghan was expecting. The baby's due date was in spring, the social media accounts of Kensington Palace revealed. But of course, there was someone important missing from all these major events in William and Harry's lives. In 1997, Princess Diana suddenly and unexpectedly died, leaving her 2 sons bereft. On August 31st of that year, she was involved in a serious car accident in Paris, and it ended up claiming her life. The media coverage of Diana's death, and her funeral, was absolutely intense. The royal family, of which Diana was technically no longer a part since her divorce from Prince Charles, had never faced anything quite like it. In the middle of it all, though, were William and Harry, then aged just 15 and 12. William and Harry ended up walking behind Diana's coffin on the day of her funeral. In later years, though, both would have mixed feelings about that. My mother had just died, and I had to walk a long way behind her coffin, surrounded by thousands of people watching me while millions more did on television, Harry told Newsweek magazine in 2017. I don't think any child should be asked to do that, under any circumstances. I don't think it would happen today, he went on. And his older brother William felt much the same way. In an interview with the Daily Express newspaper that same year, he said that the walk behind the coffin was one of the hardest things I have ever done. Everything became too much for Harry and William, so their concerned father decided it was time to intervene. Prince Charles took his sons away to Africa, far from the prying eyes of the world's press. My dad told my brother and me to pack our bags. We were going to Africa to get away from it all, Harry told lifestyle magazine Town and Country in 2017. Harry ended up falling in love with the place. This is where I feel more like myself than anywhere else in the world. I wish I could spend more time in Africa, he told Town and Country. I have this intense sense of complete relaxation and normality here. To not get recognized, to lose myself in the bush with what I would call the most down-to-earth people on the planet. While in Africa, mourning the death of his mother, it's believed that Harry was given a special gift. At some point on the trip, he picked up a gold and black bracelet. And that bracelet stayed with him the rest of his life. He was first spotted wearing it all the way back in 2001, but he never outgrew it or stored it away. Harry's bracelet has been present during many of the most important moments of his life. When he announced his engagement to Meghan Markle, the pair had a photo shoot in the grounds of Kensington Palace. Those who examined the photographs carefully would have noticed Harry's bracelet on his right wrist. That wasn't all, though. Harry also wore the bracelet for his wedding day on May 19, 2018, one of the biggest days of his life. When he and Meghan left Windsor Castle for their reception at Frogmore House, Harry waved to the cameras from his car and the same piece of jewelry could be seen. Harry has also been spotted wearing the bracelet for events honoring Diana's work. In 2007 he wore it while greeting an Angolan family, as Diana had been heavily involved with anti-mine charities in the country. In 1997, not long before her death, under supervision she had actually entered an area with live mines. William and Harry have spent a lot of their adulthoods following in Diana's charitable footsteps, but they want to remember her as a mother too. In 2017, they collaborated with an ITV, HBO documentary called Diana, Our Mother, Her Life and Legacy. In the TV show, they talked about the side of Diana that the media didn't see. Harry remembered her sense of humor. Our mother was a total kid through and through, the ITV documentary revealed. One of her mottos to me was, you know, you can be as naughty as you want, just don't get caught. She was one of the naughtiest parents. She would come and watch us play football and, you know, smuggle sweets into our socks. Meanwhile, William shared how he gave his own children a sense of the grandmother they had never known. I do regularly bring George and Charlotte to bed and talk about her, he revealed in the documentary. Just try to remind them there are two grandmas, we're two grandmas in their lives and it's important they know who she was and she existed. She'd be a nightmare grandma, absolute nightmare. William went on affectionately. He added, she'd love the children to bits, but she'd be an absolute nightmare. She'd come and go, she'd probably come at bath time, cause an amazing amount of sea and bubbles and bathwater all over the place and then leave. William too is thought to own an African bracelet similar to Harry's, which he was given on the same trip. However, he's not spotted wearing his as much. Royal biographer Penny Junor told Vogue magazine in December 2018 that William tends to be less sentimental about jewelry, he doesn't actually wear his wedding ring, even. However, Kate is reportedly fine with this. But both of Diana's sons have welcomed their wives into the family by using pieces of her jewelry. After Diana died, the boys were told they could pick out anything they wanted. Diana's butler Paul Burrell detailed this event in a 2017 Amazon Prime documentary, The Diana Story. According to Burrell, William first picked out his mother's wristwatch. I'd like Mummy's Cartier watch, the one that Grandpa Spencer gave to her for her 21st birthday, Burrell later recounted the older prince as saying. After that it was Harry's turn, and the younger boy selected Diana's sapphire engagement ring. I remember when I held Mummy's hand when I was a small boy and that ring always hurt me because it was so big, Burrell claimed Harry said at the time. However, when the princes grew older, Harry decided to commit a selfless act. He gave William the ring, in order that William could give it to Kate. When William announced in November 2010 that he was getting married to Kate, he told the press about the engagement ring. It is very special to me, and Kate is very special to me now as well. It is only right the two are put together, he said. It is my way of making sure my mother didn't miss out on today and the excitement. As for Harry's romance with Meghan Markle, he made sure that Diana's jewelry was involved in some way there, as well. The engagement ring he gave to her was made from 2 stones once belonging to Diana. The largest gem was mined in Botswana, where Harry and Meghan vacationed while courting, another nod to Africa. Both Meghan and Kate have been seen wearing other pieces of Diana's jewelry, as well. On the day Harry married Meghan, he reportedly gave her an aquamarine cocktail ring that had belonged to Diana. She had worn it in place of her engagement ring after divorcing Prince Charles, and eventually it found its way to Harry. And when the pregnant Meghan toured Australia with Harry, she wore some of Diana's jewelry then as well. The butterfly earrings she was photographed in were from Diana's collection, and she wore them after Harry was born. She was also spotted with a gold bracelet that Diana, too, had worn as a newlywed. And Kate Middleton has worn a lot of Diana's jewelry. One of the late princess's favorite pieces, the appropriately named Cambridge Lover's Knot tiara, has been seen on Kate's head in recent years. She also has a pair of sapphire earrings which belong to Diana, although they have been reworked into drop-style ones. Kate seems to dress like Diana a lot, too. She wore blue for her engagement photo to William, just as Diana had worn blue for hers with Prince Charles. And when Kate showed the newborn Prince George to the waiting crowd outside the Lindo wing at London's St Mary's Hospital in 2013, she was wearing a polka dot dress similar to the one Diana wore after having Prince William. The scars of Diana's death still remain with William and Harry. In the 2017 TV documentary, they recalled the last conversation they had with their mother, a phone call, before she died. Both deeply regretted that it had been such a short and rushed one, as they had after all been only children at the time. Harry and I were in a desperate rush to say goodbye, see you. William recounted. If I'd known now obviously what was going to happen I wouldn't have been so blasé about it and everything else. But that phone call sticks in my mind, quite heavily. Harry had spoken on the phone to her too. It was her speaking from Paris. I can't really necessarily remember what I said, but all I do remember is probably regretting for the rest of my life how short the phone call was, Harry said. Looking back on it now, it's incredibly hard. I'll have to sort of deal with that for the rest of my life. Not knowing that was the last time I was going to speak to my mum. Harry suffered long-term mental health problems from the death of his mother, and he's been refreshingly open about them. In a 2017 interview with the Daily Telegraph newspaper, he said that Diana's death affected him so much that he shut down all his emotions and William had to encourage him into therapy. The younger prince was very close to a complete breakdown on numerous occasions, he admitted. However, eventually he did seek help, and it worked. During those years I took up boxing, because everyone was saying boxing is good for you and it's a really good way of letting out aggression, Harry explained. And that really saved me because I was on the verge of punching someone, so being able to punch someone who had pads was certainly easier, he went on. Eventually, with the help of his brother, he found his way to a better mindset. And he spoke out because he wanted to help break the stigma around mental health. William and Harry have both done a great job overcoming the grief of their childhoods. Now, both are either a parent or about to become one. Ever since the impending birth of Harry and Meghans' child was announced, bookmakers have been taking bets on what the baby's name might be. For a girl, the frontrunner is Diana. Thank you for watching video.